Hi, my name's David Saylor, and I want to tell you my faith story. It goes way back when I was in my 20s. And I'm a pastor now, but I'm not really talking to you as a pastor. I'm talking to you as a person like you are, because I wasn't even thinking about going into ministry way back then. I was really just a young college student in my second year when all of this began to happen. And before that, as I look back now, I think about my life. It really was a pretty good life. I was the first person in my family to get to go to college, and I had a very supportive parents and the rest of my family. I had a girlfriend that I loved and eventually married, and I'm still married to her today. And I really didn't have any big problems. Like everyone, I had little problems. But it really wasn't problems and burdens that made me want to find God and get religion or anything like that, because my life was pretty good. But I did meet a person who really was a follower of Jesus. And when I started to learn about his faith, it made me think, because he had said that the Bible tells us that Jesus was God in the flesh. He was God's son. And that he came to earth to do something for me and for the rest of the world that no one else could do, which was to forgive my sin. I knew I was a sinner because I'd done all kinds of things. We won't go into that. But Jesus came to forgive that sin and to restore me into a relationship with God that I couldn't have without him. Well, I didn't even know if I believed in God at that point. I would have called myself a Christian because I grew up in a Christian environment and not a Buddhist one, but it didn't go any deeper than that. And if God was real, I wasn't sure of that at the point. But it made me start thinking that if Jesus really was who the Bible said he was, and there really was a God that created me and had a plan for our lives, that it would kind of be stupid to just ignore it, because even though my life was pretty good, it must be even better if I kind of fell into what God's plan for my life was rather than just my own. And that kind of made sense to me then, and it still makes sense to me today. And so I began to explore the reality of Christ. And well, it didn't take too long, but I started reading the Bible, and I started trying to get some information, and got some of my questions answered about God. I didn't have them all answered, but I really started to believe that Jesus was God's Son and my Savior. So I put my faith and trust in him. And that changed everything for me. And I've never looked back. And I've never regretted making that faith commitment to God through Jesus. In fact, I'm convinced that my life is a better life than it ever would have been if I had kind of tried to run it on my own. And I think you would find the same thing too. What did I do? Well, I did what a verse I learned a long time ago said to do. It's Romans chapter 8, verse 9. It says that if you believe in your heart that God has risen Jesus from the dead, and if you confess with your mouth that he is Lord, then you will be saved. And that's basically what I did. In my heart, I came to put my whole trust in Jesus as the one who died for me and loved me and restored me to God. And I confessed with my mouth, and I think that means also with my life. I began to learn to live for him and serve him. And I failed him in a million ways since then, and done, all kinds of things that I would say didn't live up to that. But here's the thing, he's never failed me. He's never given up on me. And my life really is a different life because of that. And I believe it would be one for you. I hope you'll consider that. I don't know where you are, but if I can help you in any way, please contact me. Thank you.